All right, welcome back to season 2 of our show. We got a very tasty one for you today. It's flank steak. We're going to show you how to get these seasoned up and out into the cooker. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. These are our flank steaks. Now I like these because they're very inexpensive steaks. So if you're looking for a cut of meat that's not going to break the bank, this one's one of them, and it's very tasty at the same time and a lot of less work than you would do with some of your other cuts of meat that are larger. So there's some silver skin down the bottom here, and we're just going to start by just getting rid of that. So just take a nice knife and just get rid of some of that. Now we're going to be grilling these today. These aren't very good smokers. They're very good at high heat. And that's what that steak is good for. Very high heat. And on this part of the steak right here, it's very, very close to the end, and it's very thin. It's really thin. So you don't want to ruin the meat at the same time. Just pull back on it and take your time as you're pulling that off. And you'll get through it very easy. Now this piece of meat's very underrated because a lot of people either don't know about this cut of meat or they just don't know how to cook it. But either way, it's great in a pan if you pan fry it. Today we're grilling it up. And it feeds a lot. It might look like it doesn't feed a lot of people, but it does. And the grain all goes in one direction. So you can see the grain this way, and it's very easy to slice against the grain when you're cutting it, as I'll show you later on after this is cooked up and after we get the silver skin off of here. So I'm just going to go very easy and get that out of there. Now those parts on the end, we're going to try to keep those away from the fire, but you can't eat that skin anyway, because if you did try to eat that, it's just going to not be a good time in your mouth. And you're going to have to chuck that out of your mouth anyway. So let's get it off now. And I'd rather burn those little pieces up at the end there and hit them with some heat than to have to bother with pulling things out of my mouth to chew on a piece of meat that's just not edible. So just pull back and just get that out of there. Now if you see my beef bone videos, it's kind of the same way. And there's some very thin silver skin on this end, and just get it out of there. That's it. So that's a little piece on there. There's a little bit over here. I'm just going to leave that before I hack up this piece of meat here on the ends, and we're just going to leave it. A little piece over here. And because it's running so thin on the end, you really can't do that. I'm just going to try to get as much of that silver skin off of there as possible. And that's it. And when you're slicing, you'll just kind of slice those pieces off first, and then you'll get into the heart of the meat. So let's get this one off to the side. Take my fat and put it over here. And I'm just going to show you this one. So this one's a little bit different. And you can see the silver skin kind of runs along this side and that side, but this side's all clean. So it all depends on the piece, the animal that you get. And I'm just going to start over here because I see it over there. And I'm just going to pull a little bit back just to see what I'm working with. And I can see I can safely get in there. So I'm just going to pull it back and just get that little piece of silver skin out of there. But it's just a little piece on the end. And that's it. It's not taking up the entire piece. So let's just hold it high and get it out of there. There we go. Just like that. How much meat did we waste? Probably nothing, just a sliver. And that's it, and that piece of silver skin's out of there. And the rest of this looks great. That's the back of it. I leave all this on. This is good fat. You can see it. You can just, it's going to protect the meat. And I'm going to cook this directly over the flame. This piece right here, just get that out of there. This is like a string. You don't want that on your meat. And just get that piece out of here. So anything that can clog up your grinder like this is just very hard to chew, or just get it out of there. And that's it. but leave all that nice fat on the back, because that's going to be your buffer. And I'm going to start from the back of that and cook it from there. There's some silver skin over here, so let's clean that up. Now this piece of meat is so thin, you're going to have a hard time pulling that out of there. So I hold it from this side and kind of come in the middle this way. And I'm just going to pull it back. Again, just come up under the skin as close as you can. I'd rather break the silver skin than break the meat. And that's it, just pull it off. And I see a little bit more on this side. I'm just going to go up under it. Just like that. And that's about it. The rest of it looks clean. So very easy piece of meat to clean up. Got a little piece on that side. And this is good practice before you get into your beef bones, because this cooks up really quick. This is about a 7-minute cook on this flank, and it's just a beautiful piece of meat. And once you cook this, you won't stop cooking it. All right, so we're gonna get situated, and we'll meet you right back here to season this up. Stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, so now that we got our flank all nice and cleaned up, let's show you how to season this up. I have some kosher salt here, oregano, dry oregano, just plain dry oregano, and oil, canola oil, pepper. That's all you need right now. Meat onto the tray. We're gonna start with some salt. Nice liberal amount. Just like that. And pepper. This steak is very forgiving. You can hit this with a lot of heat. Now today we're cooking this on a gas grill. Yeah, I know you heard me right, a gas grill. I'm going to show you Weber's smallest gas grill that a lot of people don't know about. And we're going to cook this on it because it's going to do an excellent job on the steak. Now that we got the oregano on, we're gonna go just flip it over and repeat. Just like that. There's not a lot of steaks I will cook on a gas grill with, but this one I will, because I trust the gas grill that I'm cooking on. It's gonna get hot enough and sear the steak good enough to where I'll be happy. Because most gas grills, they won't do it like this unless you get them really, really, really hot. All right, so there's our oregano and our oil. Just rub it all in. You need a lot of oil on here. Flip the other side over and get that oil on that side. That's going to help our ingredients stick to the meat, and it's going to keep our meat from sticking. And onto the tray we go. We're finished with that. All right, that's it. We're going to get the seasoning up the other one, and we're going to meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, so those steaks are seasoned, and while they're seasoning, ready to go out onto the grill, we're just going to show you a quick corn on the cob recipe. So right here we have fresh corn on the cob. A lot of people don't know how to get this out of the husk, so you want to peel back and just clean it up. Now we're using the husk itself to keep this corn nice and moist, juicy, and flavorful. So we're just going to peel back the husk. Just like that, don't rip it off. Just peel it all the way back. I'm going to bring my bowl over because we're going to have some strings in there that we don't want. So just clean it up and get that out of there. What I like to do is just go like that against there. Get all those little hairs off of there. I call them corn hairs. All right. Now that we got the hairs off of there, we're just going to remove our bowl. Right here I have butter. We're just going to take, this is unsalted, and we're going to rub our butter on here. Just like that. Just rub your butter right on there. Get it nice and buttery. Now I use unsalted butter just in case somebody doesn't really want a bunch of seasonings on their corn, or maybe they can't take a lot of salt or a little bit of salt, or can't have salt at all. You could use salted butter just to do it just like that. But this is the way I do it. Now I have my seasoning mix here. I have some salt. If you look in there, some salt, paprika, and onion powder. And I put my own salt in here so it's not too much. Just gonna give that a quick mix. It's just a quick rub for your corn. Like I say, you can make your own rubs up very fast. It doesn't take any time at all. And there you have it. Fast, simple, easy, and extremely inexpensive rub. All right, I'm going to bring my bowl back over because I don't want to dirty up my cutting board. And I'm just going to sprinkle some of this rub right over top of the corn. Just going to use my fingers in there. It's a lot easier. Just like that. And not too much. And when you get it nice and seasoned, or seasoned the way you want it, just wrap the corn back up. So we got it seasoned, and now we're just going to start to put our husks back over the corn. Just like that. All right, let's bring this bowl out of the way. Get this out of the way. And now you can see that the corn's in there. We're going to start closing up. And what you'll need, just bring these back like that. And what you'll need is a piece of aluminum foil, like have 3 strips, because we have 3 pieces of corn. And just use it just to wrap the end. I did a couple of videos where people saw the corn in the video. Got a couple of requests for it, and I'm going to show you guys how to do this. And that's it. Just like that. And now she's ready to go. Get it nice and tight. That's the cap on the top. And now she's ready to go out into the cooker just like that. I'm going to break this end off. If you don't have the room, just snap that off. And now you have room on your cooker. Or extra room. And if you have the room, don't even worry about it. And that's it. All right, I'm going to get to pulling the rest of these, and I'll meet you right back there. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, our steak is seasoned. Our corn is all nice and seasoned up as well. So while that's seasoned and waiting, we're just going to show you a quick spinach pesto to go along with this meal. So right here I have cheese, that's Parmesan dried, garlic, walnuts, salt, olive oil, and the star of our show, the spinach. So in with the spinach we go, into our food processor. Now this might look like a lot of spinach, but it's not. And it's going to grind down to a really nice pesto. A lot of people don't do spinach pestos, but they're really healthy for you. And I like the flavor of the spinach as well. Now using things like a basil, you usually see basil to make a pesto, but you can pretty much make a pesto out of anything. If you can get it into the food processor and grind it down, you can make a pesto out of it. All right, so we got that in. We're going to add a little garlic. And we'll probably have to make a couple of batches in here. A little salt. And some walnuts. Get our walnuts in here. Now we're going to slowly grind this down. Start adding your olive oil. And it'll just kind of take it down by itself once the liquid starts to go in. Not too much. Give it a little shake. And you'll see it just take it right in. This way you don't make it too oily. Looks a little thick. Just give it a little shake. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Not much. I'm gonna let that take it in. There you go. All right, let's see where we're at. I got a good consistency there, just not enough. So I'm gonna add some more in there. Now you could do this in batches too, if you don't wanna do it all at one time, but I like to do it like this because I wanna just get this whole thing filled up and make enough pesto for the evening. All right, so I'm almost there. I can see it coming up on the sides. And you won't need too much of this now, but you want to just basically fill it up. Now what I do is I make a bunch of batches of this because you could freeze it, save it, and you'll always have a go-to. Frozen, it'll last in the freezer for a while. And just put that in there. It'll last in the freezer for up to probably a good 4 months. So we're gonna repeat and get it locked down in there. Definitely know I need to add the oil. We're just gonna keep repeating until it's full. Let it all suck down in there. Keep it on low. All right, we're not there yet. I'm gonna add some more. Get it in there. Now at this point, I'm gonna add the rest of my garlic. Now, that looks like a lot of garlic. It is. In my house, we're garlic lovers. I'm gonna just stuff this down in here. And a little bit more piece of garlic. And we're gonna add a little bit pinch more of salt. Not too much, because we'll salt the pasta water. And then close her up. Now, it looks like it could use just a touch more olive oil. And that's about it. Just let it do its thing. Let it take it in. There we go. Get those little pieces in there. Now, at this point, we're gonna taste. And look for consistency, but that's a perfect consistency where you want it right there. That's why you don't want to add too much olive oil. So let's give that a shot. Spot on. At this point, I can add a pinch more salt. Again, we're gonna salt the pasta, so watch it. And if you're gonna freeze this, you'll need a little salt in there, just to help it along. And we're adding some Parmesan cheese in there too, the dry. So we don't wanna go too much. We're gonna add some more spinach. As you can see, I use that whole bowl up. Matter of fact, I am gonna use the whole bowl up. And we're gonna get it in there. Looked like a lot of spinach, but it really wasn't. But now we have enough pesto to feed an army. And I like my pasta filled with pesto. I don't like a little bit of pesto. You go out to dinner and they give you this little bit of pesto. Like there's a shortage on pesto in this country. All right, here we go. Get that in there. And that's the last batch. Add a little bit more olive oil. And it's full, it's right to the top. Let it take it in. There we go. And at this point, we're gonna put these in and we're gonna add our cheese. And that's the last thing you're gonna add. Because if you add too much cheese, it might get thick on you. So now we can kind of ratio out the olive oil to cheese. But that should be a perfect ratio right there. Perfect. That's it. There you have it. And that's what you're looking for. We'll meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, this is what we're rolling with today. This is Weber's Go Anywhere propane grill. Let's show you inside. So this is Weber's portable gas grill. It's got a non-stick porcelain grate inside of it. It's got one burner going across. Now this is my wood setup right here. I got a piece of oak just leaning against the burner here. When this ignites, it's just gonna give a little smoke on the steak that we're cooking tonight. Let's put this back on. It's got a push button start on the side here, a little starter. And this comes with the little small cylinders. It's set up for that, but I hooked up a 20-pound propane tank. As you can see. This thing is great. This thing will burn for a year. This thing is great on burgers, chicken, steaks, as you'll see today. And very underrated grill. A lot of people don't know about this grill. I'm sure they will now. But inexpensive. I picked this up for about 50 bucks on sale. And this was at Lowe's. So we're going to fire her up today and show you everything about her. So you can adjust your temperature. You can go from medium or high. That's it. Very basic, very simple. This turns the gas on, this turns the gas off. That's it. Let's fire her up. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, our fire's lit. And that's that little piece of wood I put in there. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the grate on. She's hot already. I'm gonna let her heat up. Get the lid on here, and we'll meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, time to get this food on. So we got our nice steaks here. That grill is smoking hot. I'm gonna put that lid up there. I just want you to see how that kicks in there. Look at that. We got plenty of room on there. And look at that thing smoke. This is a great little cooker. Like I said, a lot of people don't know about this little cooker, but she's beautiful. And I'm just gonna let it cook like that open for just a second. And then I'm gonna put the lid on. Like that. Now you have to stay out here and watch your steak because, believe it or not, this little thing will burn it up. It cooks hot, it cooks fast. So just watch it, and we're gonna show you when we turn it over. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so we're about 3 minutes in. Let's see what we got. All right, look at that. We're just gonna give this a turn. Look at that. And that's right, you get some flames out of here. She'll flame up on you. That's what you want. Perfect little grill for $50. I mean, how could you go wrong? I mean, it's cooking a steak and it's searing a steak, so that's pretty nice. Can't beat that. I'm gonna put the lid back on and let's sear up the other side. Then we're gonna pull it. Put the other steak on. All right, 9 minutes in and we're gonna pull this guy. Look at that, beautiful. Now we're gonna pull this, and then back to back, we're gonna throw our other steak on. So she's looking good. Look at that. Char up that side just a couple of seconds more, and now I'm gonna pull her. All right. And while it's still hot, let's get this steak on the grill. Waste no time. Get it right on while it's hot. Get the lid on. This grill cooks with the lid on, so get the lid on. We'll meet you right back here. Don't go anywhere. All right, so we're on the second steak, and we're just gonna turn the second steak over and let you see what we got going on. There we go. Look at that, very nice. And we're gonna cover her back up. This grill, like I said, you gotta get the lid on. That's it. We'll meet you right back here. Put our corn on. All right, the final steak. Let's get this off. Look at that. She's doing good. You can see all that nice fire underneath. It's a nice flip. Look at that. And even got flames coming from this guy. All right, I'm gonna pull this, get our corn on. Here's our corn on the cob. And we're gonna let that cook up, and we'll see you inside. Don't go anywhere. All right, so we just turned our corn. I just want to show you, this doesn't take long to cook. This is only on here for, I turned it over, it's only on here for maybe about 5 minutes. You'll probably keep it on here for a little bit longer, probably about 7 minutes, 8 minutes, and you're pretty much done. But just go over to the spots that are not charred up. And that's what you want. You want all that nice corn flavor in the husk. You want the husk to pretty much catch. Just like that. And just turn it. Once you put the lid back on, you're okay. But that's what you want. So we're gonna finish cooking this corn. I'm gonna turn it off and just let it sit on the cooker like that. And we'll meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we're just about to make it to the chopping block, so we're going to show you how to get this pasta together. Right here, we boiled some pasta, some noodles, twisties, and what we're going to do is get this nice pesto in that pasta. Mix it up and get it ready to serve. So right now, it just came out of the pot. It's been sitting for about 3 minutes, and it's nice and hot, and that's the way you want it. And right here we have our pesto, that beautiful pesto that we made. So out of the jar with that, and we're just going to start adding some in. Stir it in. And then you can judge it out. Now we have the cheese and everything in here. Salt. The salt was also in the pesto, and it was also in the pasta. So just judge it out. This way you don't over pesto this, and you don't undersauce it. And just mix it up, make it look pretty. Just like that. Now the reason why I'm mixing it in a big bowl like this, it mixes easier, and then we're going to go into another bowl with it for presentation. And I can see how much I'm mixing, so you can go back and forth with it like that. We're just going to add some more. Add about 2 more in there, or 3, and that should about do it. I don't want it completely green. I want to still show a little light texture in there, color. And make it look just like that. Now the reason why I use the nice twisties is because that pesto will get right in between there. You can see it gets right in between those twisties in there. It gives it all that flavor. All right, that's about it. I'm gonna put this in another vessel, and off to the chopping block we go. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, here we are once again on season 2's chopping block. Let's see what we got. Look at those beautiful steaks. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into the bigger one. Just because our family's waiting to eat this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just start slicing. Now our grain's going this way, so I'm just gonna start slicing this way, just to show you what we got. Just to get the cap off of there first. And you wanna hit this steak on an angle and slice it really thin. That's how you want that. Just like that. And that's perfectly medium rare. Now a steak like this, you can have it well done, but this is not for your well done lovers. So if you like a steak like this well done, maybe it might go on a fajita, well done and chopped up well, but it's not going to work for just eating. And there we have it. Let's get into some more of this, just so we can plate it for you guys. Get some nice pieces on here. Look at that. Now I gotta get a little Pitmaster's paste in there. Look at that. It's like butter. It just pulls right apart. Very, very tender. Excellent. For a $50 gas grill, you could not go wrong. You don't need expensive equipment to put something out like this. At all. As you can see. That's a $50 gas grill. And the flavor on here is just beautiful. You taste a hint of that wood. You can taste the smoke. You can taste a lot of the smoke on here. I tell you, if you can get your hands on that grill, get it. You won't be disappointed, I promise you that much. Look at that. All right, let's plate up. Let's get this off to the side. and show you what this looks like on a plate. Gonna take a couple of these pieces, like so. Just get them down on here. I'm gonna plate it towards me so I can see what I'm doing. Make it look nice. And this piece of steak was not a lot of money. I got this on sale, $7.99 a pound. So how do you leave that in the market at $7 a pound? $8 a pound really, but you can't go wrong with that. All right, let's clean our plate up a little bit. And let's get this beautiful pasta we made in here. Look at that. That's beautiful. And let's get some of that on our plate. Just gonna put it to one side. So we still got to get our corn on there. Don't put a lot. And I think that's about right. All right, so I'm gonna move this plate back over and we're ready for our corn. So this was that nice corn that we made. We're just gonna show you what this looks like out of the husk. Gonna open it up. And look at that, you can see all that nice butter in there. And just turn it. And when you're presenting this, just keep it just like this and pull the husk back. And they lead for a very, very, very pretty presentation. All right, so we're gonna put it like this. And I think I'm gonna present it like that on the plate on the side of our steak. And we're gonna just tuck that end in. And I'm gonna turn it so you can see the way that looks. All right, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the way that should be presented to your guest. Just like that. Spin that back a little bit, and you're all set. There it is. All right, we're gonna get situated here again, and we're gonna meet you right back here. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, there it is. Flank steak with homemade pesto pasta, homemade pesto, corn on the cob, and a little fresh bread on the side. Beautiful meal. And if you like this video, more that are about to happen, please hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that little bell so you get all the notifications. This way you get some of the videos first. Again, thank you for coming. We enjoyed having you, and I got to get that little Pitmaster taste there.